Everyone's talking about the newest floor plan built by Taylor Morrison. Well, I got it right here. In this video, I'm walking you through one of the newest inventory homes built out in a community called Santa Rita Ranch. And this is from one of the builders that just entered this community for the first time, Taylor Morrison, and this is the Ametrine plan. This home has 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, has approximately 3,400 square feet, and this specific home was just closed on by one of my clients that came in from YouTube. If you are interested in an open concept floor plan like this one, I'm going to talk about lots that are available later on in the video right in this community called Santa Rita Ranch. Now, as you can tell, when I mention open concept, as soon as you walk in the front door, we're open to the second story where we have that curved staircase, and then you can see right out those sliding glass doors as soon as you enter in the front door, because everything opens up so well right here in the living room, kitchen, and breakfast nook area. Now, there is so much to see in this home. I'm going to walk you through what my clients saw in this plan that they really loved, some of the things that we also covered from the upgrade standpoint, and then we're also going to talk about what's happening in this area of Liberty Hill, Georgetown, Texas, 2 fast-growing suburbs, because I think it's interesting how this community is playing out compared to what else is around here. Now, my name is Raj Sahu. I'm a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm going to give you the perspective of walking so many of these homes with dozens and dozens of clients. And I think that starts right here in the kitchen. What I have so many clients tell me is they love a plan with Taylor Morrison called the Larimar plan. It's one of the most popular plans that they've had over the last several years. And so what Taylor Morrison has done is provided some different variations of that plan, with this one being one of them, called the Ametrine plan, where you have this kitchen where from this angle, it looks so extended downward because of the cabinetry going all the way down to a butler's pantry that's in between the kitchen and the dining room. And then above this 5-burner gas stovetop, we have this designer tile as a backsplash going up to an under cabinet vent hood. What so many of my clients tell me when they walk through these homes they love so much is take a look at the windows. We can see all the way out through the front of the home right here at the kitchen island. Then we look out to this living room that has this fireplace that's open to the second story. And then to the right of us, we have sliding glass doors and all these windows off the back of the home. And this is the point where I get so many clients that come out to this kitchen island and they say, this home feels so grand. And I think they're mentioning that at this point because of the feeling that they get looking out to all these different windows that are bringing natural light, even on a cloudy day like this, that's just lighting up the different design touches that are in the home, and then the ceiling heights making such a big difference here. And I think this is what makes Taylor Morrison stand out. So for a lot of people visiting Austin, Texas, they ask, who are some of the good builders? And the answer to that question is really based on your criteria, your price point, how close do you want to be to the city or to the domain area? Are you in tech? Do you work from home? Or do you have a hybrid? I mean, there's so many different questions that we can go through to help answer that question. But for a lot of my clients that say, I want an open concept home that has tall ceilings, has a lot of natural light coming in through the windows, what are some of the builders that stand out? And Taylor Morrison is definitely up there because there are plans like this one, the Ametrine plan, that do really well. And there are so many other plans that are also open concept. Like I just had a client close on an Arabella plan. I've had a couple clients do the Concerto plan. We even have a client under contract on a Jasmine plan in another community, Catalina plan, which is one of their largest in another community with rolling hills. And my point is there are so many different plans that have a unique feature in them that make it feel different from these other floor plans that Taylor Morrison offers, but they all accomplish a similar vibe, which is it's open concept, windows everywhere, and then also for this specific plan, good storage. So we just saw a pantry prior to this, and this is one of the changes that Taylor Morrison made. In one of their other plans that I mentioned previously, this was just a coat closet, and that wasn't as big as what most clients wanted. Also, everybody wants more cabinet space, and what we just saw prior to that closet, that second closet, was going to be countertops and cabinets going all the way down to a butler's pantry area that again was in between the dining room and kitchen. And that's why I love seeing some of these new plans that builders are coming out, like this one, the Ametrine plan, because they tend to make changes in these plans that so many homeowners wanted in the past, and now you can get them in new plans like this. You can also get those tall ceilings like this in the living room with those great transom windows and the sliding glass door that just opens up this space so well. And take a look at the amount of natural light that's coming in. I think the sun just peeked in through some clouds that are in the back of the home, and you can start to see how much natural light comes pouring in to this main living area. And this is what I have so many of my clients say they want. They spend a lot of time in their kitchen and living room and say they want that space to feel open when they're there during the day. They want that natural light to be coming in through the windows, and they want an open concept home that's open to the rest of these different parts of the home. And wait until we get upstairs where we have a game room and a media room that is private and closed off, so it gets you some separate hangout areas upstairs. We have 5 bedrooms, so there's 2 bedrooms down, 3 bedrooms up. And then these are some of the upgrades that you may not even notice if we didn't point them out. Like there were electrical above the fireplace to put a TV. There was wiring that went down, so you can kind of put a sound system in there. And then behind this wall is going to be the primary bedroom, where you'll also see on the right side, right of these windows, an electrical outlet to hang a TV there as well. Now, I know these things seem like very small upgrades, and most of them are, but I got to tell you, after seeing so many homeowners move into these homes and build these homes from scratch, I get so much feedback of what upgrades were worth it and what upgrades were not worth it. And a lot of these electrical upgrades or some of these design items that are worth thousands of dollars, they really do matter. Now, even though I have a full list of all the upgrades in this home, the cost for them, and then we gave our client a breakdown of each room in the home and how much money was being pretty much spent on upgrades in those rooms to give them an idea of how this home stood out compared to the other homes that we're looking. I'm not going to give all those numbers in this video simply because this is our client's home, but I will tell you this. A lot of those electrical upgrades, especially, even though they seem small, I can tell you for a lot of my clients that do that after closing, each of those upgrades might be $300 here, $600 here, $1,000 there. That starts to add up very fast, where I've had clients put in $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 after closing, when a lot of that stuff could have been done with the builder. Also, we have upgrades like great tile work here in the walk-in shower. You're gonna see that tile work go all the way up to the ceiling. And then when we get back out to the main living area, try to take a look at the flooring, because I know you're watching this through a video, but when I'm walking through this, I can see the quality firsthand because it's a hardwood flooring that's used in that main living area. And just so you have an idea of what that looks like compared to most inventory homes by builders, especially in this area, most builders are using a luxury vinyl plank, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are some good luxury vinyl plank products that are out there, but almost every client is going to prefer your hardwood. The only tough part is the expense of it. Hardwood can be twice as expensive as luxury vinyl plank in a lot of cases, and so for most buyers, they say, well, I don't want to front the cost of doing something like that. But you may not have to, and that's where buying an inventory home in this current market and understanding the upgrades in it is very important. And we're going to talk about that later on in the video, talk about inventory homes versus building from scratch, because I've had many clients do both, and I can tell you the differences between the two. Also, we're going to head outside in a little bit, show you the back patio, and also I want to talk about this community that we're in, which is called Santa Rita Ranch. What's special about Santa Rita Ranch is the amenities and the on-site schools. First off, with amenities, there's already 2 amenity centers in the neighborhood. In fact, down the street from this home that we're in, there is an amenity center that has a huge pool, 2 massive slides going into that pool, and there is a gym. They call it a wellness barn just because Santa Rita loves its branding, which is all about talking about the ranch style of living. And so they call their gym a wellness barn, which I think is fun and quirky. And there's such a good amenity center there that has been in the neighborhood for years. And by the way, we're in the primary closet. It goes into the utility room, so you don't have to lug your laundry throughout the home. You can just open in that door and pop in the laundry room right there. But getting back to that amenity center was already impressive. In fact, I've been taking clients there for years when they're exploring this area, showing their kids the slides that are back there, which is fun, walking past the wellness barn to show that there's an on-site gym, which most communities do not have. But what's funny is now, I should say at the time of recording in this video, there is a third amenity center that is about to have their grand opening. I'm so excited to share that with all my clients that live in Santa Rita Ranch, because that third amenity center is twice as large as the amenity center that's down the street from this. And that new amenity center is going to be connected by a road that they're planning to build, where they're extending Tierra Rosa Boulevard in the community all the way to Santa Rita Middle School. Now, if you're not following anything that I'm saying, just know this specific home is down the street from a great amenity center that was built on 4 acres. It's huge. The newest amenity center is going to be it is now built on 8 acres, has pickleball courts, has 3 pools, and has so much going on in that amenity center. And that's what Santa Rita Ranch is about. You have a home that's open concept like this, has a good size backyard, has great upgrades within it, has a good builder that builds these open concept homes, and then you're sandwiched in between these great amenity centers that are going to have so many different activities in the community. And that's why I think so many people come out to Santa Rita Ranch. It's the on-site amenities, it's the events, it's the liveliness, it's the lifestyle. And that's what so many people come out to Santa Rita Ranch and tell me. In fact, one of those homes in that direction is one of my other clients that's closing next month with another builder, and they're building their second home now in Santa Rita Ranch. They first moved here 4 years ago, and in the last 4 years, they've had their cousin move here, their brother-in-law, one of their friends, and every single one of their family or friends lived out of state, and the one neighborhood they chose to live in was Santa Rita Ranch, because my clients who moved here 4 years ago just absolutely fell in love. And now they're renting their current home that they're in and about to move into their new home, which is down the street. So if my clients are listening, I have so many people I can introduce you to. In fact, one of them is going to be moving down the street from you. And that's the community feel that I think so many people are looking for, especially when they're moving here from out of state, where maybe they don't have an established network here. It's important to be in a community where people are out and about and you're able to meet people, your family's able to meet people. That community aspect, I find people tell me, is so important to them. And I think Santa Rita Ranch is one of those communities that really provides that community feel. Okay, moving on, we have a coat closet that's right off of the main living area, and I'm going to cover this hallway. Actually, straight ahead of us is going to be a study and a dining room we're going to get to in a second. And then I like the amount of rooms that are here on the first floor while still giving that open concept feeling, and I think that's important. This is going to be one of them. A powder bathroom, I think it's important, especially because we have a second bedroom downstairs that has an in-suite full bathroom. And then I love that designer tile that's on the floor there. You can always have something fun in your powder bathroom. And then that utility room that we saw previously that was accessible from the primary closet is right here. So that door on the right side would go to the primary closet. And then of course we have plumbing and a vent here for a washer and a dryer. Now, when I mentioned we have all the rooms on the first floor that people want, in my opinion, that's really 2 bedrooms downstairs, a study, a powder bathroom like we saw earlier, and then that tall living room ceiling, which so many of my clients want. But it's really the second bedroom down is what my clients all tell me they need to have. It's a must-have. And that's because a lot of people have aging parents. And if they don't have aging parents just yet, they know that that time's possibly coming where you don't want your parents going up and down the steps. And that's where having this second bedroom down with an in-suite full bathroom is so important. And notice how they put this bedroom down this hallway to give them a little bit more privacy. It's not right off of the common areas. It's not right next to other bedrooms. It's private. It's down the hallway away from the common areas. It has this in-suite full bathroom, which you're seeing here. And this is what so many of my clients tell me they want. Now we're going to head to the dining room and study downstairs next, and then wait until we get upstairs. We still have a game room, media room, 3 bedrooms. You're going to get a good visual of how open this home feels, especially when we get to the second floor. And while we do that, a couple things I wanted to mention. We were talking a lot about Santa Rita Ranch, the new amenities that are here, and how it gives that community feel that I think so many homeowners want right when they walk out their front door. What was missing, I think, in Santa Rita from years ago, and even just when I say years ago, I had 11 clients close in Santa Rita Ranch last year alone in 2023. But those were clients that were starting to build in this neighborhood in 2022. So at that time, around 2021, 2022, there wasn't really a whole lot going on around Santa Rita Ranch. And as a realtor, I can't speculate too much of what's happening publicly, but I told them, hey, there's a good amount of homes coming to this area. Usually commercial follows residential. I can't promise you that's going to happen, but I would tell you that this area looks very promising. And I compared this area to a couple of other areas that I won't mention in a public facing video. And I told them, all my clients, of why this area stands out as so much more favorable compared to other areas around here. And a big reason why was communities like this that are building forever homes. Forever homes meaning people tend to buy them and stay in them long term. And sure enough, what happened along the 29 Ronald Reagan Boulevard corridor, which is about 2 to 4 minutes drive away from this home, they put in a grocery store called H-E-B. It's our popular grocery store here in Texas. And by the way, this is the dining room, which I love the ceiling height in here and the windows that are there. It just provides that grand feeling that I keep coming back to. But getting back to the area, that 29 Ronald Reagan Boulevard corridor just blew up. That's very close by to homes in this community. Now there's Torchy's Tacos, there's a smoothie cafe next to that, there's a pizza place, there's a restaurant, I think it's Casa Garcia's. I haven't even gone to most of these places because they're so new and there's so many that have popped up. And that's so exciting to see because so many people say they want to live, they want to live where their dollar goes furthest. They want to live in a great community, but they don't want to live so far away from these different amenities that they want to have around them. Even some of the things that are not as cool to talk about, like you want to have your dentist close by, you want to have maybe a nail salon or a sub shop, your grocery store, a haircut place. These are things that you want, and those are all things that are now right there on that 29 Ronald Reagan Boulevard corridor. So even though I couldn't tell people that that was definitely going to come or when was it going to come, I think it was important to show people the trends. And I'm not surprised now because the trend is so strong of great residential areas that are building out in communities like this. Obviously the commercial is quick to follow after that. And now that's happened, and now this area is starting to get very established. So while we look through this bedroom, and again, I'm excited for you to see the game room and media room that's up here, I'm going to piggyback off of that topic by explaining what's happening in this area of Liberty Hill and Georgetown, Texas. Now, the first is the corridor I just mentioned, 29 and Ronald Reagan Boulevard. And if you're not familiar with these areas, just know 29 is a big highway. It runs east and west. Ronald Reagan Boulevard is a major road running north and south. And if you go south of here, that same road, Apple's second headquarters are being built out on that same road. Also close by to that road, there's 2 new children's hospitals that have been built out. There's a lot going on Ronald Reagan Boulevard and 29. So again, not surprised that that corridor took off. There's another corridor that's about to be completed, and that's 29 and 183. Now, 183 is a major highway that goes through Austin. It goes all the way down to the airport. It goes close by to our second downtown area, which is called the Domain. It's a good highway to be close by to. And what happened recently is 183 got extended all the way to 29. And when I say recently, it's not even completed yet. It's planning on being completed in 2025. But if you drive by there right now, you'll see that a lot of the big infrastructure needed for that highway system is already there. And you can drive by that and see the growth that's happening in this northwest corridor. My point in sharing that with you is that intersection will blow up with different things that are already in the plans of coming up there. I'm not going to go through all the details because a lot of it's just already announced and a lot of it's about to be announced. But that corridor is going to take off, which makes sense because it's 2 major highways coming together. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what is that going to do for this area? And I'm going to get into that in a second and provide you a good analysis of this northwest corridor. First, I want to show you the difference between hardwood and luxury vinyl plank. Hardwood looks like this. Notice how all the knots are very different from each other because it's actual wood. If we were looking down at luxury vinyl plank, you would start to see a pattern in the vinyl plank because it's the same planks with a similar knot in it. going through the home. And again, that's not bad. I guess you're really going to notice it when there's no furniture, but I just wanted to tell people, sometimes they ask me, is this a vinyl plank or is this a hardwood? That's the best way to tell, because you can look down and see similar knots, whereas this one you can't see or find any similar knots because it's actual wood. So now that you got that breakdown of flooring, I want to go back to this area. So I mentioned those 2 corridors, one that took off with all this commercial, another one that's hopefully going to be finished in 2025. And then I think that's going to be exciting. So that's going to give closer access for homeowners in Santa Rita Ranch to that highway of 183 getting extended to 29. But what that does for this area is, first off, it makes sought after communities like this more desirable because people now want to be close to those corridors. Again, that corridor did not exist. There was no commercial there in 2021. There was just some plans, I think, in 2022. And now there's all these restaurants and shops. That makes a huge difference in how people view these areas. It's no longer, this is the country and there's nothing out here. Now people want to be close to these corridors because they've built out good commercial that people want to be around. It's developed those amenities that people need to have around their community. What it's also done is south of here, in other suburbs like Leander, like Cedar Park, the land value has gone up drastically in price. And so the future growth from a residential standpoint in Leander and Cedar Park is really one of 2 types of homes. The first is luxury homes, $1 million plus homes that are very large or forever homes. A good example of that, there's a luxury home builder that was in one community in North Austin. They're going to go from 1 community to now 3, and then by the end of this year, they're going to be in 5, all in the Northwest corridor. And it's funny seeing that growth of them buying up all these pieces of land. Now, the land that they're buying in Leander, Cedar Park, south of here, tends to be expensive. So the way they make a return on that investment is they build these $1 million plus luxury homes. And that's really the future of what's happening south of here. Now, the other type of home that builders or developers are putting, south of here where land values are higher is going to be detached condos. Detached condos tend to be like your smaller square footage homes that tend to be like 2-story, sometimes even like 3-story plans. Detached condo meaning it's like a 40-foot wide lot or even less in size. And they tend to build more around like that 1,200 to 2,500 square foot mark. But the point is they can pack in a lot of those homes in a small area, and that's what gets their return on that high land value. By the way, this is the game room in the back of the home, and then next to this is the media room. There's usually a good amount of natural light coming in. I think the sun just went behind the clouds, which does happen. It's a very cloudy day that we're shooting this in. And then this is the media room that has no windows, so you can turn this into your theater. But getting back to the point, because south of here, land values are going up, so that's forced builders to only do luxury homes or that smaller detached condo type of product. That's made areas like this more desirable. And I don't think there's going to be times in the future where you're going to see as much supply as we're seeing right now in this area. In fact, you're going to see most of the supply north of here, and that's going to be the future growth of this Liberty Hill, Georgetown, Texas area. Is people are going to say, well, now living miles north of Santa Rita Ranch, that's the new country that doesn't maybe have as many amenities yet, doesn't have as much commercial. And people are going to say, well, if you want more of an established area, go to Santa Rita Ranch. And I feel like that's going to start to happen, especially as that 183 corridor completes to 29. So with that being said, if you are looking for homes in this area or other new build neighborhoods, reach out to us. We can show you what are some good opportunities based on the trends that are happening. And then also we can step in to help negotiate. For example, I mentioned earlier that, hardwood floors tends to be twice as expensive as luxury vinyl plank. There are also many other upgrades in this home that were at a higher level compared to other inventory homes with other builders. Now, I mentioned earlier, you may not have to pay for that as a buyer. And the reason why is on some of these inventory homes that are close to completion or completed, the builder is very negotiable. I've been negotiating every single week with various builders across the Austin metro area. So I can tell you the builders that tend to be more aggressive. I can tell you the ones that maybe aren't as aggressive. Maybe they're pulling back. But either way, it's all going to be based on your timing as well as the community that you're looking in, and then obviously the builder. And these are the things that we can track for you to tell you based on your criteria what's a great option. It might be an inventory home where the builder is very negotiable, where you can get great upgrades at a good price. Or if you prefer to build from scratch, you have time on your side, there are some Greenbelt lots that are available at the time I'm recording this video, and that way you can pick all your upgrades and we can try to get an incentive that goes towards your design upgrades. So there's definitely a couple ways that you can go at this: inventory homes, building from scratch, so many different communities, so many different builders. If you need help navigating through this market, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. If you want to see all homes for sale, it's going to be on my website at the top of the description of this video. And then I'm going to put this floor plan as a model home, fully staged, on the right side of your screen. And then for my clients that close on this home, congratulations, you have a beautiful home. I hope you can enjoy it for many years to come. For everybody else, show some love for my clients in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.